3, 2, 1, action.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second.
My name is Konstantin Belenko. So for the alien and how he sort of looked, I had an image in mind. I knew I wanted it to be kind of robotic, kind of awkward, but the main thing is I wanted it to look innocent. I wanted him to look, not super masculine. I wanted a feminine, innocent appearance that was kind of human, but also kind of like clearly a little bit confused or naive or like almost out of a child. But I didn't have like something in mind where I'm like, okay, this is each and everything that you're gonna do. I kind of just told him, I told Ian, all right, so do a walk, and then we kind of adjusted his walk from there, from his normal version to what is now the alien. So I kind of just took Ian's normal appearance, and then we added things. We wiped his typical Ian walk and his Ian stance. We wiped that from him, made it normal, and then added every little detail upon it. The way he opens his eyes, the little physicality things he does, the way he walks without any opposition. There's little things that we worked on throughout his character development, and it was planned, but a lot of what you see on the film is just stuff that both me, Jackson, and Ian worked with each other to come up with.
Last question. Was it difficult to guide the actors to what you wanted them to be?
Well, there's only 2 actors, and one of them includes me. So would I say it was difficult? Not particularly for the actors. I think both me and Ian knew what we were doing, and we knew what my vision was for the story. And yeah, there were points of frustration and points where the like us two wouldn't do what I like. It didn't turn out to look how I wanted it to look, but we kind of just I don't know, it was a good experience. We worked with each other well, and we with the crew and everybody there, we sort of just did it until it was perfect, and I think we achieved that. So
And then briefly, if you could go over the seizure.
I'm like standing like 2 inches in front of him, and Junior's off a little bit farther away to the left.
and then later that night, we shot the argument scene. We got most of it done, and then I had a seizure. The seizure, I don't even know what to say. I thought he was messing around at first. Like, honestly, he kept on zoning out, which Konstantin sometimes does, just to mess with me, and just doesn't talk. And then he acts like I didn't say anything. But then yeah, there's that like one brief moment where he just like stood there, kind of leaned over. I thought he was messing with me, so I kind of just like watched him. But then I noticed what he was going through, and then I called my dad and Christian's dad into the room, and then basically we like let him go through it, because there's not much what we can do, But I think like we handled it pretty well. I mean, there wasn't a lot you can do to someone that's just like going through something that's literally like you can't handle it. You have no control over it. But he's okay. That's all that really matters. The place was all right. I mean, we got there and it wasn't what we expected, because we thought that it was gonna be just this one big house in the middle of nowhere. We're gonna have a lot of scenery like around it, but there was like a bunch of other houses around it, so that was stupid. That was literally what we were avoiding. But other than that, we worked around it pretty well, because like if they're able to make
or take pictures of the place and then show it as if it was just that house, then we could do that too. So we did that, and there was a river right next to it. The flooding didn't do too bad near the house. It was more like down the road, but we were restricted to a certain like distance around the house because like we found a couple places, but we had to go other places one day since it was flooding a lot more that day, because there was like bridges that were closed down. They just didn't have like any road. It was just covered, and we couldn't drive in most areas, and like it would be fine in most of the road, but then there's just this one block of the road that dipped, and then all of the water just covered it, so nobody was able to cross. But other than that, I think the place went pretty well, especially because we found like some forestry areas with really good scenery, and it worked out. And then so I think it was okay. We were pretty stressed about it in the beginning, but we worked it out.
It's been pretty cool so far. We haven't done a ton of monologue scenes yet, but I've been having to really get good at the physicality of the alien and make sure to like keep my facial expression of the alien the same. I haven't gotten into any of the portions where I talk like a lot, so I still haven't gotten to that point, but I do. It's more I'm having to remember when to say a few short lines to Constantine's character, and then also to physically like react when he says something, or to not react when he says something. The filming is going good. We're going at a good pace at the moment, and we're getting better at scheduling, so we should be able to get all the shots we need here in time before we have to go.
How has your experience been so far, just for the past couple days?
It's good. It's been productive. There's parts where we kind of just are like, okay, we're gonna do the shot, and we just sit there for a good 30 minutes just figuring out how we're gonna do the shot, but we just talk. We don't actually do anything, but then we get through it, and then I mean, we've only been kind of late, but then we get things done by the end of the day, so at least the stuff that's needed. So I think it's going well.
So we wanted to keep it pretty simple. So we started with Charlie's theme, because that was the character that we had the most of at the time and the greatest vision of. So what we decided to do was take the piano and work with that. And Charlie's is supposed to be kind of like a sad but also cozy kind of feeling, but keeping it super simple, which isn't super difficult to do, but in this case we were trying to relate it to, or being open to things like the alien and change and all of that and the variations we needed. And then we started the alien for the next theme, because the alien is Charlie's kind of co-star in this. So we started with a kind of a darker kind of thing, more mysterious and kind of ghostly in a way. And we have worked with some variations on that. And so the theme is more, we have versions where the theme is more cozy and warm, and it can be used for like more cozy scenes with Charlie. And yeah, and then we decided that we wanted a theme for the cabin, because the cabin is super important for the location, and we really like what it brings to the film. So we decided to make it kind of what we thought of the woods would sound like in music. It's kind of a weird way to explain it, but I think when people hear it is when they're gonna understand.